Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Warrior Way. I was listening to a video today, and it was talking about religions and how we don't need religions to be connected to God, and that the source power has nothing to do with religion. As a matter of fact, religion sometimes brings in intermediaries that, like, we need someone to speak to in between God and ourselves, whether it's some kind of priest or rabbi or some sort of figurehead that we need to like go to like request advice or tell us how to interact with God. And the same is true when it comes to texts like books and things like that, like the book is going to give us the advice on how we can interact with God. Now, again, this doesn't mean that a book can't be useful or people can't be useful to help you. Obviously, we're watching these videos of people trying to help us break free from our own situations. Even if you're watching this video or me watching other videos, same thing. Everything is a teacher, everything is a guide, everything is for us to learn from, whether it's a book, whether it's the big book, the Bible, whether it's a book, whether it's a human, whether it's religion, all of it can be used to get to the source. But just know, like, before it all, before like Abraham, let's use Abraham in the Bible. Abraham searched out all the idols. He was going from one idol to the next idol to see if they were real because his father was worshiping idols. And then he realized that the idols weren't anything. It was the thing beyond the idols, which is the source behind it all, this behind all of us, which is God. That God is not something we need anybody to figure out. It doesn't take intelligence to figure out. It takes actually simplicity to figure out. It's the ability to step back out of our minds into this, just walk out your front door. I walked out today and had the most amazing day. I didn't know where it was going to take me. I ended up at the beach, ended up at a park, ended up at another place. In all three different locations, nature was speaking to me. It's just what I have to say. Like, nature's talking to me. Whether it's the moon and the sun showing up in the most beautiful way, a swan coming over, dolphins by the ocean. I mean, you can't make it up. I sent a video once to my kids about the dolphins, and I used to tell people, I'm like I don't really care to tell too many people, but at the same time, I have to tell the truth, right? Nature responds to you. Nature responds to what it is that you're doing. If you're in touch with the fact that it's all God, it's all energy, it's all vibration, then the nature and in tune will reflect its way. The love that you have will reflect itself in nature. The animals, children will start looking at you, will start coming towards you. And if, by the way, if you can relate to this, if you're in this place and you're like, you start telling people and they like push it off like it's just coincidence, please comment, like let me know where you're at with this stuff. Because I'm sure a lot of people here on this journey who are listening to my videos or on this path right now are feeling this. So like, you can't turn to anybody. You can't turn to people who want to stay in this 3D reality. If you want to stay in that dense reality of like ignoring nature or everything's coincidence, or you need an intermediary to speak to God, but you can't trust yourself, that the God within yourself, like, then those people aren't going to obviously relate to what I'm saying right now. If you're like hearing this, you're going to be like, oh, turn it off. That's okay. But if you're a person who understands that it's not just the masters, it's not just Jesus, Muhammad, Moses, Abraham that were able to do this with nature and with God. It's all of us, me, you, everyone. If you're watching this video, you know you're able to do this. You are speaking to God at this very moment. You're listening to God at this very moment. My words are God. You are God. It's everything. It's every single second. I could turn on a movie, and I might probably turn on a movie later. I watch movies. Movie is God. It's just that technology sometimes can trick us and like play with us a little bit, and we forget because it's like it could bring us distractions. That's why, like, when like the news, for example, the news is also God, but sometimes the news is like shadowy aspects where it's like they try to bring divisiveness. So anything that brings divisiveness and confusion to ourselves, it brings us away from God. Not that it's not God; it's all God. There's not a moment in the game that's not God. It's just that anything that brings divisiveness, and that goes back to where I started with religion. The video was talking about religion, and religion, and innately in religion, it's not a bad thing. The problem is, as I mentioned in other videos, religion brings division. Okay. I was singing the song from Dave Matthews where he says, so righteous, so righteous, so righteous, so right. We think we're so right. We think we are the chosen ones. Every religion thinks they are the chosen ones. We're all chosen. Now, I'm going to bring up something. I don't know the validity to what I'm saying, so it's okay if you don't take this. It's an opinion. In the Bible, the Old Testament, it says the Israelites left Egypt, right? The Israelites left Egypt. The Israelites were given the Bible, the Old Testament, whatever it was. Now, who were the Israelites? I don't know. But I can imagine now that I'm sitting in this position, going through my own spiritual journey, that the Israelites were people who were having spiritual awakenings. They were awakening to the God within, not this external God. And they were starting to witness these internal changes, which was creating external miracles. Because when you start to have an internal awakening, the external must reflect your internal. Now, what happened over the course of time is not all those people made it through, but they were not Jews. I hate to say this. I know Jews are going to get pissed when I say this stuff. Like, Jews is a made up concept, being Jewish. It's a made up concept. It's called people being aware. In every generation, there are people that wake up. In every generation is not a type of person. It's not a Christian. It's not a Catholic. It's not a Jew. It's not a Muslim. It's not a Buddhist. It's not a Hindu. It's humans. I see this number keep on being brought up, and if anybody knows more about it, please, let me know what your thoughts are on this. But it says 144,000 souls are awakening. So I assume that means that in each generation there's 144,000 souls. Maybe at each time that's what, like, maybe that's the amount of people that left Egypt. I don't know, but it seems to me that regardless of that number, there are people that are watching these videos. There are people that we're always anyone that's doing these things right now. We're all awakening, but it's the awakening inside. It's not this external thing that we have to go seeking out religions to get our answers, or we're going to get answers from any of these videos. At the end of the day, you're going to get bits and pieces from each piece of the puzzle, and your job is to, at the end of it all, is to trust your inner God, that God inside of you, that God that's you, the God that's been with you your entire time, that God that will never leave you, that God inside you that tells you you are not alone. And I'm speaking to myself as well. I know I am not alone. And then when nature's response, I'm like, holy cow, thank you. Thank you, whether it's a bird flying by or a dolphin showing up or a swan or butterflies or synchronicities, whatever they may be. It doesn't matter. It's all God. It's just that when those synchronicities happen, it's like signs from the universe, whether it's, people think it's angels, or it could be angels, it could be other entities giving you signals of what to do. Now, sometimes I wonder, you wonder, is it always that you have to trust yourself? So that's the God within, to know whether or not you can trust yourself to follow along those paths. Should you follow? Should you not follow? That's up to you. And that's why it's like when people say on videos, it's urgent or you must do this right now. There is no such thing as you have to do it. Every moment is urgent. Right now is urgent just as much as the next moment, but it's nothing you have to do. And anytime they tell you have to buy something or do something, right away, that's the moment to take the breath. Even if I tell you to click the video, you don't have to click it when I say to click it. You click it when you want to click it. If you feel the urge, if you feel it's a nice thing to do, click the video. It doesn't hurt you, right? But if you feel something's going to take away something from you, whether you want to give money to a charity and someone's saying you must, give me a tip, or you must do this, or you must do that, or you must buy my product, you don't have to. You don't have to. And not only should you not in that moment, you should at least take that breath in that moment. Take a little bit of space. And again, you don't have to. You can take that space to say, and I come from a place of, I grew up in a modern Orthodox Jewish home. I became very religious on my own when I went to Israel at 18. I went to yeshiva for a year and a half. I became very religious, and I was always a seeker of God. I didn't like what I saw growing up, because I saw a lot of, and not just my family, but I saw in the whole community, it didn't make any sense what everyone was doing. They were picking and choosing what they wanted to do. And even if you're full on into this, which I eventually became full on in, I was full on in, there was something missing. It felt like it doesn't make any sense, or like I had to be a certain way in order for God to like me, in order for I go to this place, this inevitable place called heaven. Yo, heaven and hell are right now. You're either living in heaven or you're living in hell. But the truth is, it's just a perspective. You can flip it just like that. I was in hell for a long time. I was living in the mind prison for a long time. And partly was because there was this little part of me that felt like Judaism, because again, I grew up in Judaism, that's the right religion. And I'm sure if you grew up in a certain religion, if you're listening to this, if you're still holding on a little bit, like I had friends that, like, no matter in their spiritual journey, they had to, like, factor in everything into their Judaism or everything into their religions. It's not, doesn't have to be like that. Why do you have to reconcile your religion to the truth? Wow, I'm going to say that. The truth is that they're all paths to the same path, which means that none of that matters. What matters is that you know the God inside you, that it's all love. We're all the same. There is no difference. So why even bother? Because your families, because you can't give up, because you're trying to fit into your communities. I had to like let go of it all, let go of my community, let go of all of that stuff, and let go of my friends, willing to risk my family members. I have a picture of Jesus in my bedroom. Like that was a big one. I'm sure I know my dad's heard it. He didn't like that. But I already did a lot of things that he didn't like. And it's too bad. Dave Matthews has a line in the song, "Could Dad be God?" Because when we grow up, we ultimately think our fathers are gods, or our family are gods, or our religion is the God, not God is God. Before religion, I've asked this question to people. Before the religion, so what were they doing? Then it wasn't. They didn't have it. Why didn't they have it? They didn't need it. Religion wasn't needed. Now, religion. The reason why people think religion's needed is because it's like the opiate for the masses. That people without it would be killing and doing all these crazy things. It's not true. It's what they want you to believe. It's what the powers that be have decided. It's what all of us decided collectively to agree upon, that we needed religion. Why? Religion creates so much wars. Look at all the wars in the world. Religion over wars. Yes, in Israel. Look at all those wars going on over the years. All those, in the Muslim countries that they were fighting over all these years. All the global wars throughout the decades between the Catholics and the Christians, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the dynamics were, but it's just there's been war after war after war. Like, when do we get tired of war? Is that the only way to peace? Dave Matthews brings up in the same song that I mentioned earlier. Is that the only way to peace? War? No, it's not true. Love. We have to love our brothers and sisters from any background. We have to love people that are different than us, whatever their sexual orientation is, whatever their genders are, whether they switch genders. Who cares? Why do you care? Why are you so caught up? Are you questioning your own gender? Are you questioning your own self? Are you not sure of yourself? Are you worried about how your family's going to think if you're friends with someone who's a little different than you? Or if you're not follow the same religion? Like I knew I went to a Jewish school, couldn't be friends with people of other religions who looked different, whose skin color was different. Now I tell my children, love everyone. No one's different. Tall, short, black, white, green, blue, whatever your color is, whatever your religion is, whatever your background is, love all. But you can't love all unless you love yourself. And I found that in my religion, and I'm sure in others as well, unfortunately, it was hard to love myself because you're called a sinner when you don't follow all those rules. What a fool I was, right? If I couldn't keep there were 613 commandments for a male in Judaism. 613 commandments. Now, not all of them apply nowadays, but a lot of them do. I mean, if you touch a girl, commit a sin. Ooh, that was a big one, man. I like touching girls back then. There was a sin, not just touching. Forget kissing, making out, having sex. Ooh, I said the S word. Now I'm committing another sin. Couldn't do a lot of things. Couldn't look at someone, say something. Everything was an issue. Eating something that's not kosher. It's just, and then you look at others who are not following the religion the way you are, is like they're less than. Even in your own religion, you're commenting, you're judging your own members of your own religion. Forget members of not religion. You look at them as like they're second class citizen. They're not chosen. You're the chosen one. They're like that stepchild. I mean, come on. We're all children of God. When are we going to wake up and realize, like, yo, God's within me? It's only once you really go in yourself to love yourself fully and to know that everything's there, that God's got you. A big one is I mentioned this a while ago when I was on Red Note, the Chinese Instagram. I mentioned this idea we're about being free, and somebody commented about, well, you need to be financially free in order to be free first. Well, it's the other way around. In order to be financially free, you have to be free from the prison mind. You have to be free in the sense that you know God has you. For all those who follow religion, it's amazing that the trust level of God is not really there They're still running around chasing the green papers because, as I'm wearing green, the green papers because they don't trust God. They don't trust it because it's really hard. That's one of the hardest things. I understand it. It's like going full on in to be like, God's got me. And once you know that God's got you, then the financial freedom's already there. So whatever you're doing, keep doing what you're doing. It doesn't matter. But the point is, God is paying your bills regardless. Your boss isn't paying your bill. God is paying your bill. And know that that's happening every second. You're always going to have enough because God promises you that if you have faith in Him and you trust in Him, He's got you. And how do I know? Because inside me, it's inside me. I'm a co creator of this universe. I wouldn't have created a situation to harm myself. I would only put myself in a situation to know, to believe, to trust in myself that I would make sure that I put myself in the best case scenario every step of the way. But how do I do that? By living moment to moment and being grateful, constantly gratitude and love, constant. And when the signs happen, when the synchronicities happen, when nature's talking to me and nature's responding, I say thank you. I don't need religion. I don't need an intermediary to tell me to say thank you. It's innate. It's like we have to tell our children to say thank you. We do, and unfortunately, because they lose it. You know, they're spoiled or whatever we want to say about our own children because we were spoiled, because we were entitled, because we didn't know how to say it. We didn't know how to give real thanks. We needed religion to tell us how to say thank you to God, to our real parents. Our parents, maybe talked about God, but they didn't believe. Maybe they do now, but they didn't believe in God growing up. For me, the way my mom's on the path too, so she understands this conversation of really, really understanding that God is your parent, not your mom and your dad. God's the one taking care of you. I tell my children, I'm just an intermediary. I'm not your parent. God is your parent. He's inside you. It's you have to make your decisions. You have to be good with what you wear, with what you say, with what you do. You. But if you're okay with all those things and you do it, it's okay. Go ahead. And I'm here just to love you. Unconditional, just like God. I'm here to give you a hug, to love you, to give you the warmth that you need, just like God's giving to me. God's literally hugging me and saying, this is all I wanted from you, was to know that I'm here for you. I have never left. I'm always going to be here. You don't need religion. You don't need that division. You don't need to make a decision. You just need to be here now. This doesn't mean I'm knocking to tell people to leave their religions. I'm not telling people to leave their religions. I want to be very clear. I'm not telling people to run away from the things that they love doing or that they've been doing. All I'm saying is that you don't hold so tightly to it. We're all going to lose this physical body at some point, and at that point, you go wherever you go to the next incarnation or wherever you think you're going. But you're not bringing anything with you, including your religions. You're not. You're not bringing it with you to the grave. So it's definitely a thought to think about. If you're living for this next miracle world, I would suggest taking a breath and living for the now. Now is the next world. The next moment is already the next world. Each moment just died during the next moment. Brand new world. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. And if you did like, you could hit the like button. Any commentary about your own religions, about your own history, about breaking free, or even still being in it. And it's okay to be in it. Like I said, it's okay to be in it. Just love what you're doing. Love what you're doing and don't judge others. And you're all chosen, whatever your religions are, you're chosen still. Yes, you are chosen, but you're just as chosen as anybody else. So comment if you feel like it, share, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you again for being here.